And I suppose you still intend to go through that race with the infidel American?
Hello and welcome to Kill James Bond. I am Alice Caldwell-Kelly. Joining me are Abigail Thorne, Devon, and a very special guest, automotive reporter Victoria Scott. Victoria, how's it going?
Pretty well. Automotive reporter. Wow, I've been upgraded since my last guest on one of your shows.
Yeah, what did we call you when you were on Well, There's Your Problem? I think we were so much less formal about that we were just like, yeah, hi, it's Victoria. It's our friend, Victoria. And then just
it's this chick we found on the internet.
Yeah. She followed me home. Can we keep her?
Why are we more formal than Well, There's Your Problem?
I think it's the Bond thing. I think it's the tuxedos and the cocktail
we're
dresses that
British.
puts us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Our episodes don't regularly run over 3 hours.
Also that. But the reason why we have a car person on is because we watched a car movie for the most tenuous of reasons.
I mean, movie is a strong word for what we
It's less tenuous than The Saint. He wasn't
That's
even really
true.
in that one.
No, it's not.
What do you fucking mean? Roger Moore's a...
The Saint is about a spy.
Also, he had played the Saint on the TV. Okay, fine. But we watched Cannonball Run. And if you're not familiar with it, Cannonball Run is a 1981 film, allegedly, which is kind of an extended excuse for Hal Needham and Burt Reynolds to do whatever the fuck they wanted under the guise of making a car movie.
Yep. This is my pick. It came to me from a patron DM I got. So
It's your fault.
I will say that it appeared that everybody who was involved in making the movie had vastly more fun than I did watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's at least nice, is that they enjoyed it.
Well, one thing is that, at the end of this movie in the credits, they do something which I think we should bring back. The credits, the blooper reel, the outtakes,
yeah,
yes.
blooper reel.
And in those, everyone is having a lot more fun than anyone watching the movie will be. The thing is, this has, too much of an ensemble cast, right? You have Burt Reynolds, Roger Moore, Farrah Fawcett, Jackie Chan, who is utterly wasted in this movie.
Completely.
Dom
DeLuise, and in some of their last film roles, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. are in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Oh boy. Well,
good.
No. It's so... The Cannonball Run is a real thing, which I did not know. Victoria had to tell me
Can I info dump?
Please.
Can I go for it?
Please.
Okay.
What the fuck is a Cannonball Run?
The Cannonball Run it was organized originally in 1979, if I remember correctly, and I don't have notes, so people can yell at me after for being wrong. I figure that'll give them something fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was an event organized when the U.S. still had a 55 mile an hour speed limit federally, so there were no roads that were fast enough. Like nowadays in Texas, the speed limit is 75 or 80 on a lot of their freeways. But it was Brock Yates, who was ex-race car driver, who was writing for Car and Driver at the time, and he organized this tongue-in-cheek run from the Red Ball Garage in New York City to the Portofino Hotel on the coast of California, and the goal was to see how fast they could do it. The original run was, I think, 35 hours or something, and the one thing that is true is in the Cannonball Run movie, which came out 2 years later after this satirical race took place and kind of captured the imagination of Americans who all hated this 55 mile an hour speed limit, they actually did do the original run in a modified Dodge ambulance van. And there was somebody who did it Sammy Davis Jr.'s character in a Ferrari 308, the Magnum PI Ferrari. So it was the whole point of it then was to get a good story because automotive journalists are insane. But
also to get this
it's a cool gig. Yeah, it's a record, and the thing is so they kept doing them until I think 84, 85. Somebody set a record of 32 hours-ish or something, and I think they were like, all right, that's too much. We're done now. We made our point. The 55-mile-an-hour speed limit fell not long after, and nothing that has happened since then has been a sanctioned Cannonball run. I'm using sanctioned in extremely thick air quotes.
The thing about this race, right, is that it is highly illegal.
Well, see, that's the thing. So the original run with the Dodge van from 1979, the average speed was like 72 miles an hour, which is a 13-mile-an-hour difference over the speed limit, and it's not 13-mile-an-hour speed limit.
It's not safe,
whatever. I think it was 68.
It's
still
reasonably practical.
Yeah, the human mind can react in that time. We currently drive. I drive 75 miles an hour, and I don't die every time I get in a car. The thing is, it has continued since then, and there are people who still run Cannonballs with GPS, tracking data to verify that they're actually doing it. And the average speeds have crept up to 110 miles an hour. Average.
Whoa.
Over 25 plus hours. We're talking, one of the more recent attempts was an Audi S8 with a 65-gallon auxiliary fuel cell in the back and laser jammers, radar detectors, taillight kill switches. I mean, it's the cars that Hollywood uses in movies about drug runners that they think they have. But it's literally
really
just for
funny
being an idiot.
Is that the shaking hands meme between drug dealers and cannonballers here is that I've seen some of these guys do this because they stream this too. Well, yeah, using drugs. No, I've seen video. Selling dope. I've seen video of these Cannonball guys driving, and they're all wearing thin blue line gear for two reasons. One is the obvious chud reason, but the other is so that when the cops stop them for speeding, they can just be they can try to use that to their advantage.
It's a kind of urban camo wearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing that's worth pointing out too is every single person who's ever done it is a white man. Which is probably is worth noting. I think maybe somebody.
Listeners, we've done you the service here of explaining the premise of the film before we recap the plot. Unlike the film, which does not explain what a cannonball run is until about 34 minutes in.
Additionally, if you're listening to us and you're not a white man, get out there. You can do it now. You can be the first. I'm telling you.
The first.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens?
I would, but I'm too gay to drive.
Yeah, me too.
We spend the first 45 minutes of the movie, and this is not a long movie, it's an hour and a half. The first 45 minutes of this movie about a car race do not involve car racing. They involve being introduced to a succession of guys, because America and perhaps the world is a repository of comic types, and so we get introduced to these in sequence. First of all, we have our protagonist, Burt Reynolds, and I wrote down Burt Reynolds in all caps because he enters the scene diagonally.
That's fucking right.
Like a bishop.
Absolutely. He can move in any direction diagonally. Sorry,
two Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds' chest is going to fuck with me for a while. Yeah.
No, there are two of them, so they can be the bishops.
Yeah, no, that's true. So the other bishop, his partner, is a plural system called Victor, played by Dom DeLuise.
Yep.
And is kind of...
So when you say partner, there is this kind of
life partner.
There is this recurring gag that people think they're gay, I think. And always Dom DeLuise meant to be gay, but then there's a sexy lady. It's really unclear what their relationship is. They have a lot of gay energy.
Yes.
It's very odd.
Yes.
I think it was a Top Gun thing where interpretation was left to the viewer.
Yeah.
We have...
Yeah, and as I will always do when they let me do that, they're gay. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have the last hurrah of the Rat Pack in the form of a Dean Martin so aged he looked like Abe Vigoda and Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah, that's
He's
Dean Martin.
So fucking old.
And they are gamblers, so they're betting on themselves. And so we're introduced to all of these characters, all of whom are scheming to try and enter this Cannonball run. But in order
listeners,
to do it,
Alice is really like structuring this much better than it is in the film. Basically, these characters,
you can't talk about this movie without accidentally writing it
making
better.
it better. These characters like turn up and say things that are like really unclear. Nobody explains what the Cannonball Run is. Dom DeLuise has this big thing about his hamster that never comes back. They talk about him, and it's not clear who him is. I thought it was Bert's ex. Then Dom DeLuise has like an alternate personality called Captain Chaos, but it's really badly edited, so I don't know if that's a flashback. That Sammy Davis Jr. is Jewish or not? Is that a joke? I don't know. What the fuck is happening?
He was famously Jewish. It's just like, it's not telling a joke. It's just saying a thing that's about the guy who's and anyway. So
I'll tell you who's Jewish in this movie.
Oh.
Roger Moore's mum.
Well, he is. Well, yeah.
Roger Moore appears in the movie, and I have the perfect drop for this.
I must warn you, I'm Roger Moore.
Whoa there, Nelly. That's enough podcast listening for a goddamn freeloader such as yourself. That's right, it's me, mildly tipsy Devon, back again to say that you can't listen to the rest of this podcast unless you go to patreon.com/killjamesbond and chuck us like a $5. $5 will do it, probably. And chuck us more than a $5 if you want. Or not. No need to give us any more. You can. You can if you want to. It's a free country, you know? Alright, love you.